Couch co-op? It's exactly what it sounds like. You sit on the couch with someone and you cooperate together as you play a game. There is nothing quite like sitting on the couch with a friend or a loved one, completing missions and destroying bad guys as a team. And I would argue that Nintendo Switch is the king of this type of multiplayer gaming. Welcome to Gameless Plus, my name is Josh. Today I'm going over the 10 best couch co-op games for Switch. Let's get started with number 10. LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. This game takes you on the grand journey of all 9 Star Wars movies with Legos. You can play as your favorite characters with a friend in its rich co-op mode. This game is funny and full of great voice acting, it's high energy, engaging, and really huge. While it's fun alone, it should be fully enjoyed with 2 players on the same couch. This game has over 300 playable characters, over 100 vehicles, and 23 planets to explore. Plenty to keep you and a friend or loved one occupied for a very long time. It's full of action-packed gameplay, great space shooting, lightsaber duels, boss fights, shootouts, and puzzles. It should be noted that this is not the only LEGO game you can play on the Switch that has couch co-op. There are also a variety of others, including Marvel, DC, Harry Potter, Ninjago, and others. But this is probably the best one of all of them. It's well worth your time. At number 9, Luigi's Mansion 3. Luigi's Mansion 3 is a spooky action-adventure game that is fun single player, but it is a blast with a friend. The game's co-op allows one player to control Luigi, while the other player controls Gooigi, a semi-transparent clone of Luigi who can pass through walls. Gooigi can also be used to solve puzzles that Luigi cannot, such as crossing gaps that are too wide for Luigi to jump across. You can use Gooigi to complete main objectives in this game if you have somebody to play with or not, but since you can work together to solve puzzles, defeat enemies, and explore the game world together, why not? Together you explore the mansion and all of its rooms, vacuuming up all kinds of craziness and collecting ghosts of all types, with combat that's fun and gets very crazy at times. The game has fun bosses and crazy animation along with lots of fun secrets to find. I personally got this game with the intent of playing co-op, and had a blast playing all the way to the end with a friend. At number 8, Super Mario 3D World. In this revamped from the Wii U to Switch version, you and your friends will traverse colorful, imaginative worlds, take on tricky challenges, and use unique power-ups to overcome obstacles together. This is classic Mario platforming at its best, with a major emphasis on playing with up to 3 other friends. One of the great things about this game is that you get all the classic Mario platforming gameplay, but it was actually designed with the multiplayer co-op in mind. This game is not a walk in the park. I will tell you, it is downright challenging at times. Sometimes it's better just to pick up the other person and carry them past something that they're having a hard time passing. And yes, you are playing together, but there is a slight bit of competition because you are scored per level. When I played this game with my 3 nephews, they were constantly competing, but the fact that all 4 of us could play together with the same goal in mind is an awesome aspect of this game. It's a forever memorable bonding experience that I got to have with my nephews. At number 7, Overcooked All You Can Eat. I just want to say right off the bat that this is not a fighting game. I repeat, not a fighting game. But you might get in a fight with whomever you're playing with. This is an awesome co-op game, but you might just lose your temper like Gordon Ramsay if things start going sideways because of a failure to communicate. The game is undoubtedly very fun and also quite chaotic. You must work together to cook and serve up dishes in increasingly challenging kitchens. Communication and cooperation are the keys to success in this hilarious and frantic cooking simulation game. It might serve as a true test of your relationship with your play partner. If the anger continues, maybe you should play the next game on the list instead. At number 6, Unravel 2. This is one of those games that is truly meant to be played with 2 players. You are 2 yarn-bundled characters called Yarnies who are connected by, you guessed it, a strand of yarn. This game boasts creative puzzle solving and platforming. It's full of clever mechanics as you traverse the landscapes. The atmosphere and music in this game's levels are excellent. Graphically, it's a really nice looking game even on Switch. You can really feel the effort put into every area in this game. There is so much detail. Thankfully, the game isn't too crazy of a time commitment. It takes about 5 hours to play through and it's worth every moment. Taking the number 5 spot is Moving Out. In this game, you and your friend work together as a moving crew. Your job is to relocate furniture in ridiculous and quite amusing scenarios. This is definitely a game of communication, much like Overcooked, with a lot less frustration and potential yelling. This one's got a lot more laughs, as you recklessly break glass, throw furniture, and frantically run around trying to beat the clock. I've only played this game with 1 other player, but you can have up to 4 total players strategically trying to move all the furniture out as quickly as possible. It's worth noting that Moving Out 2 is releasing on August 15th, 2023, so you might just want to grab that one and jump in. It's bound to be great just like the first one. Coming in at number 4, Cuphead. Cuphead is a run-and-gun action game that is heavily focused on boss battles. The game is put together with an incredible art style inspired by cartoons of the 1930s. The game may look adorable, but it is an intensely challenging romp through the hand-drawn cell animation worlds. This is a game where you will be very glad to have a second player to help you beat the intensive bosses that you will be facing. You'll acquire new weapons, learn powerful super moves, and find hidden secrets. As cute as this game is, the storyline is actually rather dark. Cuphead and his brother Mugman will go on a quest to repossess the souls of runaway debtors as payments of Cuphead's loss in the Devil's Casino. Yay! If you like a game that is truly challenging and may make you want to break your Joy-Cons, but will offer that amazing feeling when you finally beat it, this is the game for you and your friend. It's also worth mentioning that the soundtrack includes 3 hours of original jazz, big band, ragtime music, and every song is played by live musicians. It's pretty amazing. At number 3, Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. This game is not for kiddos, but it is great for grown-ups who want a vast and excellent game. This is one of those titles that I was surprised to see on the Switch, but it looks great nonetheless. This is a massive local co-op action RPG that you can play with up to 3 friends. You'll enjoy the classic dungeon crawling and looting as you fight to save humanity. The co-op gameplay is shared on the same screen and can also be played remotely on up to 4 Nintendo Switch consoles. Of course, you'll all have to have your own Switch and game, which could get pricey. I suggest just using the main screen. You'll choose between 7 dark fantasy classes, each with their own ways to kill demons. Diablo 3 Eternal Collection includes the original Diablo game, the Reaper of Souls expansion, and the Rise of the Necromancer pack. A fun exclusive feature of the Nintendo Switch version is being able to find pieces from the Zelda games, like Ganondorf's iconic armor. It's just for looks, but it's pretty cool anyway. And while the newer Diablo 4 is out on consoles and PC, this is still a solid and super enjoyable multiplayer experience on Switch that is just as strong today as it was when Diablo 3 was released all those years ago. Coming in solidly at number 2, Portal Companion Collection. This is actually 2 games, Portal and Portal 2, including the co-op multiplayer version of the game. Nintendo Switch is the only console that actually has Portal Companion Collection. It's available on PC, but only as the individual games. I played the original Portal 2 many years ago and was completely blown away by the fascinating concept and execution. I'd nearly forgotten about Portal until it was announced for the Switch. It was released in June of 2022 and is now considered a must-buy for Switch owners. The game is full of mind-bending puzzles, with the co-op gameplay being called Cooperative Genius, where you work together with a friend to solve intricate challenges using the infamous portal gun. It really is fantastic. The original game, which is over 10 years old, still holds up today and is one of the most unique gaming experiences out there. It is such a nice break from the first-person shooter in its traditional form. You don't have to take it from me, Portal 2 won countless awards when it was originally released, including Game of the Year. This one is so worth every bit of your time. Find a companion and play it. And finally, coming in at number 1, It Takes Two. This one is truly a masterpiece of cooperative storytelling and gameplay. It Takes Two was not originally available on the Switch, but was finally released for it in November of 2022, easily making it the number 1 must-play co-op game, not only for the Switch, but for any console. One of the beauties of the Switch version is that you can play with 2 Switches over local wireless network or online using a free Friends Pass feature, even if one of you doesn't own the game. You can of course also play on split screen on the same TV. That's the way I played it on the PS5 before it was released on Switch, but if I'd had the option, I would have certainly bought it on the Switch over the PS5. Keep in mind, this game does have to be played with 2 players as there is no single player mode. My playthrough is one of the most interesting and unique gaming experiences I've had in years. You have to really work together to figure out all the different ways to continue through the story, and it's a story that is so solid, engaging, and funny. The game has won over 90 awards, including Game of the Year in 2021, for a lot of good reasons. The tale of these characters is meaningful and really does dive into the specifics of what makes a relationship work. It's such a cool experience to actually connect with the person you're playing with as you're hearing the story of the characters connecting in the game. It is really not to be missed. Well, there you have it, the 10 best couch co-op Switch games. You know, there are so many co-op games on the Switch and all the systems that I almost decided to make a video about the co-op games on all the systems, but I realized that the Switch has the most that are worth talking about, and it's nice to just talk specifically about the Switch from time to time. So what do you think? Have you played any of these games? Do you agree with these picks for the top 10? What do you think is missing from the list? I know specifically there are a few that probably could have been on it, but I wanted to stick to 10. Let's all talk about it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. To see all my videos as they come out, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time on Game List Plus.